Hi guys, Everyday Knife Guy here, and it's been a little while since we had a ZT on the channel, and the day has finally come. You can see we have the customary ZT box here, Go Bold ZT, proudly overbuilt in the USA. On the side we can see this is a 0350 blackwash, and it's a real beast. So if you watched any of my ZT videos in the past, you will know that I am pretty unashamedly a bit of a fanboy. I do really enjoy their knives. We're doing a mock unboxing here because I have of course had this out and played with it before now. Nothing else in there. Important information about your new ZT folding knife. Identifying the parts of your knife, how to deploy it, etc. So that's a bit of useful information if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, as I say, a bit of a fanboy of ZT knives, but this wasn't really one that I was too excited about getting for a long time. There's certainly a few other models that I would have picked before this, but this was very much a price-based decision, and I'll come to that in a minute. This is the 350 in blackwash. You can see there, liner lock design, flipper operated or thumb stud, and of course speed assisted, so that really snaps out there. 3¼ inch blade. I'll weigh it just shortly here so you can see. So take a look at this side. Nice ugly pocket clip bolted on there in a tip down manner. Given how slight touch on the flipper there, given how keen this is to fly out and deploy, I think tip down is probably quite a good idea for this knife actually. Just a little nudge on the thumb studs. Oops, didn't really fly out there on the springs, but a little nudge on the thumb studs or a little nudge on the flipper, and this is very keen to fly out on that speed safe assisted mechanism. You can see there, quite a chunky thick knife, big stainless steel liners, solid back spacer, jimping on the back there, and also around the flipper and where your thumb rests on the little thumb ramp there. And one of the reasons I wasn't too keen on this for the longest time was this is of course, as you can see there, a Ken onion design, and that means that it is all swoopy curves, and it's more of a funky looking knife, I would say, than a functional looking knife. Not particularly to my taste, but I was definitely keen to try it because I saw this on Amazon, Amazon.ca, for an absolute steal. I paid the equivalent of $50 US for this shipped. Currently in fact, it is $140 US on Amazon.com and $140 at Blade HQ. So significantly less than half price. Couldn't really resist but pick one up. In fact, it was such a good price that I picked up two. One is going to be a gift for a friend, but I thought that, you know, having two on site at the moment, they only came in yesterday, having two on site, we might as well look at both of them, and then if there's any flaws with my one, I can always compare it to the other model and see how it matches up. So let's put that one on the table. Take a look at this one. So you can see it does kind of have that recurve form to the blade. Feels pretty sharp on the edge, and nicely finished, I think, although it's not totally to my taste. You can see there, 0350 blackwash, made in USA, Ken onion design in S30V, so no LMAX here. Serial number 6667 and serial number 6664. Two ugly pocket clips side by side. Of course, these are flat slabs of G10, and they're fairly thick actually, encasing that liner lock there, you can see. So let's just look at a few things on both knives. Lock up there, pretty even, slightly deeper lock up, full engagement of the lock bar on this one, 90% of the lock bar on this one, both around 50% and 60% lock up, I would say, on this one, maybe 60 to 70 on the one on the left. Both pretty good. Both edges finish nicely, the ricasso, nice and sharp to the base there. Tips look good on both. See if we can hold them side by side and check they're symmetrical. Yep, grinds look good on both. Close them up. Now, I'm not a huge fan of speed assist, but these knives can be de-assisted. They do have a detent in them. Centering looks excellent on that one. And kind of hard to see here with the blackwash blade, guys, sorry. And excellent on that one. I'll give you that same view on here so you can see. Yep, really very good. Finish on the blades. Looks pretty good. I do like that black wash, and obviously as a user knife, and these look very much like beater knives to me, as a user knife, black wash is great for hiding all the little scratches and marks and scuffs that you might pick up in day-to-day use. Blade on this one looks good. I did notice there is a slight scratch there you can see in the finish. I don't know, that could easily have been picked up in transit really, just right there at the point of my thumb. You can see it in certain lights better than others. You can see it right about there. Not a big deal though, not a huge imperfection. Nice swedge on the top there. G10 all looks pretty even. Finish is nice around the liners. Very solid, sturdy liners. You can see they have been hollowed out in places there. I don't have, oh sorry guys, I don't have a flashlight handy to show you, but you can see there in the reflection the edge of one of the cutouts there, just to reduce the weight a little bit. But by no means get the impression this is a lightweight knife. It's extremely hefty. Probably best out of my collection to compare it to this one, which is the Hinder Design ZT, the 560. So compare them in blade size. 560 slightly longer blade and blade edge. Simpler design on the blade as well. Sorry, you can see some gum or residue of cutting something on the edge there. Just generally a bit of a bigger knife, but both pretty thick. So fairly hefty carry in the pocket, the 350, and of course the 560, although it does benefit from that 3D machining on the titanium and also on the G10. Makes it feel a little bit smaller because it has that kind of curvature to the sides of it, whereas this is big flat blanks of G10, so you do tend to feel that as a bit of a brick in your pocket. But it does carry not too badly. As I say, I think that tip down is probably a good idea because it really doesn't need much pressure, either light switch or push button to activate that flipper, cause this to fly out. Activation is really snappy, lockup is good straight away, and no wiggle on that one. No wiggle on that one. So definitely a very solid, great knife for 50 bucks, which is a Kershaw price on a ZT blade and ZT materials, and big name designer of course, although Ken Onion I think has designed probably a few Kershaws in his time as well. So definitely a steal at 50. Is it good at 140? I would say so, although that is competing with paramilitary and quite a few other kind of you could say sort of classic EDC blades. So depending on the style of knife you want or what you want to use it for, I mean this is very much a hard use folder, as most ZTs are. So if you want something that looks a little bit more tactical and maybe slightly less practical, although it does have a nice kind of curvature to the blade for day-to-day tasks, maybe this is a knife for you rather than opposed to something like the paramilitary. And also if you like assisted knives, of course, then this is a pretty good bet for you. Let me just pause it and I'm going to see if I've got any phone book paper here. We can test the sharpness of these. Okay, got a couple of scraps here, so let's go ahead and test this. It feels quite sharp to the touch. Oh yes, very nice. Quite a thick blade. Not quite the blade stock of something like the 560, as you can see there. The 350 is on the left. A little bit thinner than that, but certainly by no means a skinny slicing blade. But it seems to be making short work of this paper. So initial sharpness, even at the tip, is, I would say, excellent. Let's try the other one. We might as well, since we have it here. Oh yeah. Wow, that's even better if anything. Very, very, very sharp. So that's nice. A little bit of hair shaving maybe. Just cut my arm off there. I don't know if you can see that, guys, but no issues popping some hairs. So yeah, that's always nice out of the box to get a nice sharp edge to work with. And yeah, I'm pretty impressed with these. I'm still not a huge fan of the design. I may well come to sell mine on. I'm not entirely decided yet. As I say, I think one will make a pretty good gift for the person I'm giving it to. And yeah, just a good all-around ZT. Maybe not one that I want to add to my collection, Currently I have the 560, 452 carbon fiber, and what else? I think that's it right now. I would really like to add the 562 carbon fiber, but that's a little bit out of my price range right now. $50 was an absolute steal, and I'm sorry guys that was only on for a short time. I'm pretty sure somebody made a typo and listed these at whatever it was like $70 Canadian or $74 Canadian or something like that, which just really jumped out at me. I wasn't even shopping for knives on Amazon, it just jumped out at me. It was in my suggested items, and I hit buy quickly on 2 because I figured someone was probably going to realize their mistake and come back and fix it, which they duly did. And it's actually taken quite a few months for them to fill this order, so I think there was some sort of somebody messed up somewhere, but not really a big deal. I'm quite happy with my purchase. So you can have a little look at that jimping on the back there. So you have 5 rows of pretty aggressive jimping. You can see there between the G10 stainless steel liner, blade, stainless steel liner, and G10. So you've got a very wide kind of platform for your thumb to rest on. Ergonomics overall are really pretty good, certainly for a right-hander. Your thumb rests nicely on the thumb ramp there. The swell at the butt of the knife into your palm, and it's really pretty much a full finger, certainly 3.5 finger grip. And because of the liner lock being situated on the right hand side there, if you're right-handed, your finger has more room to kind of come around that and grip up onto the G10. If that was left-handed, I think that'd be a little bit less comfortable because of course the near side G10 and the liner is sticking down a bit further, so you've got that to get around. But certainly a very solid grip there, on a hammer grip. And also if we do it in reverse, yeah, it's reasonably comfortable, and this jimping on the rear here certainly tells you what this knife is kind of designed for, and the tactical look is completed there really, but maybe a little bit short in the handle to make that comfortable for my hands. I wouldn't say I had large gents hands, probably a medium, but yeah, pretty comfortable. So out of the box, the only quibbles in terms of the quality or the way it's designed really that I had, other than my kind of general hesitations about Ken Onion designs. If you look here, and this is minor, but it's kind of jumped out at me. If we can get to focus, if you look here at the text on the blade where it says Ken Onion design, notice how that doesn't follow the curvature of the grind. And I know that might be quite difficult, or perhaps even impossible to get that lasered on, or however they do it, to get that lasered perfectly with the curvature of the grind. But I think it would have looked 10 times better, don't you? As you can see, the S30V is pretty close to the edge of the grind there, to the flat of the knife, and it kind of drops off too quickly down towards the tail end of the cutting edge here. So you get a much wider gap there. I just think that looks kind of scrappy. And it's not just a flaw with that knife, because if you look at this one, it's exactly the same. So not a huge fan of that, but I mean, it's a pretty minor thing really. Just jumped out at me. Other than that, not really noticing anything else quality wise or any blemishes or anything. So overall, I think that's about it, guys. Oh, let's go ahead and weigh it actually before we forget. I think I said it's a 3¼ inch blade. So depending on what you like for your EDC, let's see if I can get a weight on this. It is 5.75 ounces. Don't know if you can see that down that corner. 5.75 ounces. The 0560 is 5.75, so even heavier than 560, which is in itself a pretty bulky knife. And I think the real culprit for that is those liners. They are really very solid. You can compare see there's the titanium rear scale of the 560, compare the thickness of that liner in G10. So really a very sturdy knife, and certainly plenty to hold on to and get a good grip of. So whether you like that or not is going to kind of determine whether this is one you want to add to your collection. But as I've said probably too many times already, for $50, very hard to go wrong with. 140 I probably wouldn't be in a rush to part with. There's other options out there that I would consider before this, but nonetheless pretty solid offering overall. So that about wraps it up, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more knife videos soon, hopefully. Have a great day. Cheers.